Alright, let's just have a quick introduction to paper 3. This will be helpful if you're brand new to IB psychology, or if you haven't taught high level students before and you're not too sure about paper 3, or even just if you're not too familiar with the new syllabus and the changes in paper 3. So it's an hour, 5 questions, and it's all about research methodology. Question 1 will be about the research methods, question 2 is about sampling, and question 3 is about evaluating, discussing methodology. So if I think there are two key questions in IB psychology, right? How and why do we think and act the way we do? And then how do we know? How do we know about this? And so two approaches to answering these questions would be quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative, we're looking at trying to explain behavior by looking at relationships between variables, either cause and effect or correlation. Whereas qualitative research is more about understanding the subjective experience of participants. And I think that's a good kind of phrase to remember, and it's going to seem very abstract until you really get into a lot of qualitative read a lot of qualitative studies, and then it'll start making more sense. But we're trying to understand how and why we think and act the way we do, not from an objective, observable viewpoint like in quantitative research and trying to explain what's happening, but actually trying to get into the minds of our participants and seeing the world through their eyes. And so that's why we require a lot more descriptive data in qualitative research, right? So it's, I guess, to think about the difference in approaches from going outside looking down to inside looking out. I just came up with that. I think that's quite a good idea to explain to students. I might do that tomorrow. Anyway, paper 1 and 2, we're looking at the first question, right? How and why do we think and act the way we do? So biological, social, cultural variables, a little bit of research methods and ethics in there. But paper 3 is really focusing on that second question. How do we know? Alright, best strategy. So again, an hour, 5 questions, and this is what it's going to be based on. There's an unseen study. So students would have never seen this study before. I'm 99.9% sure of it. And then there are 5 questions here they have to answer. Standard questions, we know exactly what they're going to be asked. We just don't know what the study is going to be about. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. 3 questions. All of these questions students must answer. The research methods, 2 characteristics, describe the sampling method, and suggest an alternative or additional research method. Okay. Question 2 is about ethics. There are 2 possible questions here. One was going to be asked. My prediction is this will be the most commonly asked, but there's also the possibility that this will be asked as well. This is a straightforward question. This is a very difficult question. So students have to be prepared to answer both. Question 3, I've put evaluation, and because kind of really that is what we're doing, and the rubric requires evaluation. You could call it discussion as well, because these are actually discuss questions. We're discussing generalizability, ensuring the results are credible, and avoiding bias. So one of these questions is going to be asked. So we can see there, question 1, ABC is worth 9 marks, question 2 is worth 6, and question 3 is worth 9 marks. But generally, I would be spending equal time across all 3, I think. Just tell students, treat it like 3 short answer questions. So you've got 20 minutes for each one. Okay, and that'll be the hour. Best preparation, I think, for this is past papers. And it's kind of my advice, if I found it hard to come up with really great activities for the qualitative methods unit. And, if in doubt, past papers. But break it down. Don't just give them past paper and say, here, go with it. But say, okay, today we're going to focus on question 1B, sampling method. Let's get this right. And then another day, okay, today we're going to focus on the first part of this, ethical considerations. And just so break it down in that and give them feedback and get lots of practice. I hope that's going to help. So there's paper 3. It's very straightforward, but it is rather tricky. And it's going to take a little bit of practice. So, yeah, just that would be my best advice for preparation. Good luck. Cheers.